Hello there. So I've had a slight break from MG3 action. We were racing at Nürburgring over the weekend, so a little trip to Germany. But I've got all the parts, got all the bits, so we can finally get to this little MG3 back, at least shaped like an MG3 again. So yeah, let's crack on. That's better. Actually, look how the door handle's now sitting. Okay, might have to try and doing some of that stuff now. That really has popped it out quite a bit. I'm never going to get all this back together again. But the good news is that door handle looks a-okay. Oops. Oh my god. Look at that. So basically, providing this contour stayed as it should and it doesn't look awful, we could have a winner. This is all stripped down now, so I can get rid of this. I just need to take off the speaker. So that's all the front door stuff. I need to put all that lot in a little box, order one of those things. I need to order glass, the little quarter frame. I need to order one of those. So I need the little quarter frame and the main door glass, and then maybe the rubber trim that the window slides in, because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get that straight enough to let it run through. We'll see. I'll have a little play with that. Okay, better. Oh, just need to switch the loom for the proper loom. Right, so steering wheel's back on. I've just torqued her up. I've plugged in this harness to the top, and then we've got the cable coming through, and this goes onto the airbag. Here is our new airbag. Mr. Ultra cautious, I'm going to turn the pull the battery off again. I just don't like messing around with airbags, so I'm going to pull the battery, fit her up, then turn the power back on, and then we'll scan it again. I'm going to turn the power off at the battery first, and then yeah, and then I'm going to scan it again. It'll be interesting to see what it comes up with now. We've got the steering angle sensor in there as well, see if it reads it and all that kind of good stuff. Evening. So I've had a few more parts rock up while I've been away at work. I have got one of those chaps, proper door lock. This one looks in much better nick than the one that was in the door that I took off. So hopefully we can now get this door locking and whatever. Basically, what I've decided to do. I've also got a wing mirror that's rocked up. It's white. It's got a white cover. It said it had no cover with it, but it's actually got a white cover, which is great for me because that will make it easier to paint. Or we could do white accent mirrors. I could get a white one for the other side. And I've also got the glass for the driver's door. The rear doors. Yeah, so the rear driver's door, I've got the glass obviously in the existing door. I just need to whip all that out. So what I'm going to do this evening, it's about 10 o'clock. I'm just going to spend an hour or so just stripping down this rear door and see if I can get it in that rear door so that we've got something closing up and all that kind of good stuff. If that goes okay, I don't think I can really make a start on this one because I'm still waiting for, I've ordered the triangular piece of glass that sits in here. I think you need to put that in as one of the sort of the earliest bits before you start putting glass in and stuff like that, and the thing that holds the window regulator on, I think. So I don't think I can do much with this as it currently stands, but I thought I could pretty much make a start on that. I could also get the Hoover out on the interior. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the interior though. A few comments. I've put the video. I've just put the video up of me on the pull, as it were, with this thing, and quite a few people have said now, there's a few folks that have commented that sound like they know what they're talking about, saying, hey, you've got more to go on that pillar. It needs to still come out more. So I can kind of see where they're coming from, right? Now, I've not got the front wing yet, because that's the other thing, and someone else pointed out that. I need to get the front wing mounted up, because I will then know from that light, based on where the wing sits, where that door needs to be. It's all very well me mucking around with hinges, but obviously if I'm moving the door forwards, it may start clashing with the wing, and you've only got so much adjustment with the wing, obviously, because then you're into the front of the car. I don't want to make the whole thing wonky and whatever. I know we're only talking a few mil either way, but still, I'm sure there's adjustment to be had. But ideally, I think what we want to be doing is moving this B pillar out just a smidge more, not a massive amount, but a smidge more. That might help with the tension that's on the bits of sill and things like that as well. Who knows? So the issue I've got with that is my dozer, love it to bits, right? Sorry, not my dozer, my portapower, love it to bits. It's only a 4-ton model, so it's got a bit of grunt, but it was bottoming out for me on what I was trying to do, pushing that. I have just ordered, I spent £110 or something, £115 on Amazon on a 10-ton version of a dozer kit. I was also missing some bits out, not a dozer kit, out of a portapower kit. I was also missing a couple of bits out of my portapower kit that were really starting to annoy me. So whatever, right? You know what? I'm going to thank you guys because the videos for these MGs are doing quite well, and each one of the videos I put out is getting a good number of views, which obviously gets me a little bit of ad revenue. So let's invest some of that ad revenue back into some tools, right? It is blooming hot outside. It is, what day is it? It's Wednesday night. It is about 10:30. I'm cracking open a bottle of wine because it's the coldest thing I've got. I fancied a cold beer, but I've not got any cold beers. Sacrilege, I know. So we're going to do wine tonight. There we go. Wowzers. That's pretty good. I'm going to now take a look at this rear door, and with the rear door I'm just going to disassemble and add straight into this rear door basically. So I'm going to just move from over there to here. Job's a good one. So there are some screws up here that are holding the glass into the mechanism. Now, normally you would lower the window. You lower the window to get it to come down to then be able to muck around with it. But I can't lower the window. But can I? Yeah. So there's a pink wire and a green wire. It's those two wires there. I can see they're still the same wires. So we've just got 2 pins there. I'm going to try and put 12 volts to it. So I've got one of these little probe things, little power probe, I think they're called. It's like a Draper thing, I think, this one. But basically, there you go. As you can see, you've got a couple of crocodile clips just to go onto a 12 volt source. Whoops, just kicked you. A 12 volt source, there we go, body neggy. And then you've got another little clip, oh, for God's sake, that comes off the back just here that you can put onto an earth of a thing. And then what you can do is then feed a positive or negative charge out of that thing into there. Nice. So that's that out. So what I'm going to do immediately is try and put that one back in. Right, yeah. I think it's simple as that. Okay, nice. So I have now just fitted the airbag for the steering wheel. So if I power up our little diagnostics. Okay, so what I'm going to do is system selection, select the supplemental inflatable restraint system, or SDM. It doesn't make any sense, but whatever. And read fault codes. So driver airbag resistance too high is now pending, not current. And let's do clear fault memory. Now read DTC. So what we've got now is the 5 fault codes for the airbag and also an infotainment fault code for the FM stereo. I hope to bejesus I haven't forgot to plug something into the stereo. Oh. I'm away for the weekend. By the time I get back, hopefully the rest of these little bits of door will have arrived. I can get this bit of door in. Once this bit of door is in, this car can be driven, which will be the first time, obviously, I've driven it. So, so I think at this stage, it will be a case of getting it outside of the garage, because I've got something else I need to be bringing in here to play with. Isn't quite as resistant to the British weather, especially the North Devon weather. So yeah. Right. Nice. One Soak motor MG3 from a 2020, and I think that should jam in there somehow, he says. Not sure exactly. Okay. So yeah, just like that basically. And now with that in, we can now put that bit in, and then the window, and there, and then we can get this thing watertight, and away we go. 27 is my lucky number, but a chap called Jack got number 27, hence I got the 716. So what we have here is a 10-ton capacity hydraulic body frame rep air kit. This definitely is more substantial. These chaps are considerably wider than the other one, and obviously we've got our 10-ton. I'm not sure what capacity these are though. Okay, do not exceed half a ton capacity. So these are the little splitters. So I think that's pretty much the same as the one I've existing. So yeah, you're not going to do anything substantive with that one, but the important one is this one. And yeah, 10 ton should do the job. And obviously this chap. Oh, this just is all at a bigger scale, basically, as you'd imagine, going from 4 tons to 10 tons. Okay, so that 10 tons definitely got more movement on it. That just shifted it out quite a bit, and then obviously it popped back in, but all good, and it has given me a better gap just here, so that's cool. I'm going to have more of a play with that, but I need the front wing first, because we'll get the wing mounted up and then see where we're at as an entirety, because obviously I've still got a bit of arching around I could do with hinges and things, but it's looking pretty good. Our speaker's now on. I've just stuck on the plasticky stuff. We've got a bracket that needs to go on just here. I think this comes through like that. That should basically be it. We can get the door card on, I reckon. Right. So all door cards now in place. I think next job, definitely need to go and grab this front wing. So I'm going to pop down to the MG parts place. One little section of wing I can use as a colour match. All right, we got more toys. You might need to take the headlight off and stuff like that, but whatever. See, I've got a little more care over this one, the one I removed. That one sits on there. That one sits on there. That sits under there. So the gap here is a little large at the moment, but then that's in exactly, I'm just placing it in exactly the same spot as where it was before, right? So let me grab some mounting bolts. So I'm again going with this door can go that way a little bit, and we're safe. So that's great because it gives me a little bit more clearance here. I've got a little bracket on the inside here that's clearly bent because it's out of shape. I can see that, I didn't spot that before. So I just need to bend that back into some sort of relevant shape. And I think what we need is to get some paint on this. There's no point fitting this up proper. Okay, so now we've got kind of a little teardrop kind of thing going on. Right, so next on my little job list is the interior of this thing. I need to turn it back into an interior again because I want to drive this thing out. So I've got my seat belts, and obviously the chairs are back there. It's a bit of a mess in here at the moment. It's a bit there on the carpet. So while I've got the seats out, I might as well do the carpets properly, and then I've got to get all the interior trim back in and the door seals, and then make sure the doors, and then make sure the door's still shut, right? So yeah, so I think first off, I need to pull all the trim off the other side as well, because I need to pull the other seat belt off as well. But first off, I'm going to fit the seat belt on this side. Plug my diagnostic tool in. So obviously what we're hoping for now is no airbags. We're going to manually select for the UK and MG3. Okay, so the power's been on this thing, off on this thing. So yeah, at the minute I've got errors all over the place. Battery voltage low, battery voltage low, battery voltage low. All of the airbag ones are now marked as pending. So they all say pending, which is good news. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to clear. Okay, ECM, no fault codes. Airbags, no fault codes. No fault codes, no fault codes, no fault codes. Okay, so this car is now 100% fault-free. Yay! So yeah, we've got a wonky front end still because we've got our inner and outer rod ends are no good. Obviously, I've got a replacement steering rack, so I'm just going to swap over the inner and outer from the replacement onto this one. So that's one job, and the other job is the lower wishbone. I did buy a replacement. They were very, very cheap, so I bought a replacement wishbone just for the sake of it. It doesn't look like there's an issue with the wishbone, but you can't really tell, and clearly because it's had a knock, it just makes it. I just might as well change it. So that's the next job, and I'll do that this evening after I've had some grub. Obviously, we've already done the front suspension. but I've got a lower arm and I've got an inner outer tie rod end. What it does need, it's a bit of a clean up, because I've got lots of rubber. I've also got a tiny bit of a scuff mark on it as well from where the Tesla had it, but I'm going to have a go at just tidying that up myself. I don't think I need to send it away to be refurbed. I think I can sort it out myself. So usually just a small screwdriver, just pry open the little clips and then you can just leave them off usually. And we can pull that off and get to what's underneath it. There we go. So this is the problem, right? When we're turning this thing around, we're not doing anything. It's this we need to take off, which is a beastie. I think usually something like a 32mm. So you see the problem I'm going to have with it on the car is how do I get... So when this is on the car, it's going to be a bit tight to get to that. So there we go. There's our rod end. So what I'm going to do, while I've got this in here, I'm just going to whip off the other side as well, because I'm going to put this up for sale, and I may as well sell the rod end separately. Steering rack's a little bit more of a niche kind of thing. Yeah, I can't imagine many people need the steering rack for one of these things. There is a cheap method that involves chopping the end off here and then whacking a socket onto it and unscrewing it. I've used that method a couple of times. I could take the wishbone off, give me a little bit more room. So that's the upright off the wishbone on one end. So now let's try whatever this is here. Okay. Got it. I think I got it anyway. Yes. Definitely helps with the wishbone out of the way. Right, so there's our very, very, very wonky steering arm. The outer, it's probably okay. Well, it's not going to be okay. Whatever. Yeah, the outers look very similar. The inner's completely mushed. So, let me get on it with this one. So yeah, we've never seen these things before, and basically, let me see if I can show you. So you see what we've got here. So this goes over the top like that, latches onto all those little doobies just there. You can get special tools for it, which I have got one somewhere, but I find my granddad's old pliers particularly good for getting hold of these things and giving it a squeezio. So I shall use Grandpa's old tool, old pliers. I've got little bits of glass all over the floor like an idiot. Not particularly sensible. There we go. Got it. I think what we'll do, we'll chuck this in because it looks like it doesn't hinder the wing in any way, shape or form. So let's lob this in. That is it for tonight. I should be able to pick up some paints. So tomorrow night we'll get the front wing on. I've given it a coat of light grey primer, etch primer. So yeah, now we need some colour. All right, it's a beautiful day, and I am going to, a little bit later on, try painting this wing for the little MG3, and I'm going to try doing it a little bit better than I've done it before. So a couple of things have changed this time around. First of all, I've been down to Marlowe Paint this time. I took a little bit of the front wing that was already there, gave them that. They've done a colour match and God knows what, and they've given me a tin of something that I think should be the same colour. I bought some of the decent primer again from Marlowe Paint. I've also got some proper paint prep, so we're not going to use brake cleaner this time. I am also going to set up, I'm going to make myself a DIY spray booth using a marquee that I bought off Amazon a little while back just for working on cars out in the rain. So I'm going to try and use that, build a little thing, stick a fan in there and stuff like that to try and get crud out of there. And you never know, I might even wear a mask this time. So yeah, happy days. Anyway, I'm going to build that now. So turbo me. Right, so there we go, that's the plan. Hopefully less flies, although now immediately sees a fly in here. Less flies, less crap falling off the trees, generally be a slightly better place to try and paint it. I've got a bit of airflow going through thanks to the fan, so yeah. So what I've got is, I've got some same brand as before, Mipper, and it is Surfing Blue Pearl Metallic undercoats, and I've got some of this 2K special pull the pin kind of 2K lacquer for the top, and I also splashed out on some panel wipe, so we're not going to use brake cleaner this time. So, as before with these things, basically, I've got like there's a little plastic jobby in the base. It's got a, there we go, got a little metal ring, a ring pull top thing, and then what you do is you hook that through the thing at the bottom, and then you pull it and twist it. I think you pull and twist 360 degrees, pull the ring down 10 millimeters and turn 360 to release the activator. Shake for 2 minutes. Do a lot of shaking with this one. So I'm gonna let that dry off now. There's an hour to dry. So we'll give it that and see what happens. All right, this thing has been out baking in the sun. It is shiny. Now, interestingly, I mean, it's so hard to get a, it looks lighter, but not, I don't know. Well, it's blue, but it's a different colour blue. All right, so out the garage, obvious issue is the different coloured blue wing. I mean, it's just completely different. I don't know. So I've got to put this piece on as well. But first of all, yeah, that blue wing is, it's basically got no green in it, and the car's got green in it. So I don't know quite how that's happened. Anyway, the next issue is, take a look at this front wheel here. Note, it's the angle, not the toe, but the camber, sorry. And now look at that one. anybody spot an issue? So there are two things that can cause that to be sticking out the way it is. One of them is the shock absorber itself is not tall enough, so therefore not holding it up enough. The other is, most annoyingly, the bottom arm is too far out. I've got about the right ride height. I think that bottom arm that I've put in is the wrong dimensions for this car, which would be a complete pain in the... So, but yeah, definitely, I mean, clearly something is up, right? Because that is not the angle it should be. However, on the plus side, we have got nice door gaps, doors open, everything clears and all is good there. So that looks all right. I still need to adjust out this wing. The wing's not actually mounted on at the minute, so you can see at the moment it's too tight at the top, too wide at the bottom. In fact, it's sticking out too much at the bottom. But I've just not adjusted it. It's not actually bolted in the middle, and it's not actually bolted on the front either. So this all gets shifted around a little, and obviously I still need to clean up that wheel. But and and obviously we've got that issue. But there's no point spray painting that, because why would I spray paint it blue when I need to paint it this sort of tealy colour? So yeah, not good. Now, the one thing I would say is the paint job itself, the actual paint and lacquer have gone down really nicely. So I've obviously got the little bit of peel in it, but at the moment this is just the pure lacquer finish. I have not polished it, I have not cut back the lacquer at all yet. So now, as far as little MG3s go, it's just the job. Looks all right. Make a very cheap 1.5, 2-year-old car for somebody. So that's it for this episode. I guess I'm kind of there, but not there, right? I thought this would be the end of it, but clearly with that wheel alignment, with that paint and the alignment of the doors, I still need to, the alignment of the wing, I've still got some work to do on this car, right? So, so my plan is, next video, we'll get this finished off, and next video, I will introduce you to the new project, this thing over here, which I'm very excited about. So thanks so much for watching. Hopefully we'll get another video out next week, finishing this one off and introducing you to the new project.